All right, people, let's do this one last time.
A nexus point is an event in time of such importance that it gives rise to a vastly different future.
Somewhere in the past, the timeline skewed into this tangent.
Travel back to 1969, and I was frozen in 1967. Presumably, I could go visit my frozen
If you
self.
travel to the past, that past becomes your future. And your former present becomes the past, which can't now be changed by your new future.
The future's not set. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the 10 things Terminator Dark Fate changed. For this list, we're taking a look at plot points in Dark Fate that deviated from past Terminator movies and forever changed the franchise. If you haven't seen the film yet, this list is one big spoiler. A whole new timeline.
Computers didn't take control. We stopped Judgment Day.
The poster for this sequel reads, "Welcome to the day after Judgment Day." In other words, the first two Terminator movies are the only ones you need to have seen going into Dark Fate. This film essentially wipes Rise of the Machines, Salvation, and Genesis out of existence, not unlike how 2018's Halloween reset that franchise's continuity. That technically means the sixth Terminator movie is actually the third in this new timeline. Considering that most fans like to pretend that the series ended with T2 anyway, turning the clock back and picking up with our heroes in 1998 was definitely a smart move.
Because I knew it happened! It happened!
Sarah Connor lives.
My name is Sarah Connor. When I was about her age, a Terminator was sent to kill me.
As one of the most influential heroines in cinema, Sarah Connor deserves to go out in a blaze of glory. So it felt pretty unceremonious in Rise of the Machines when we learned that she died off-screen from leukemia in 1997, shortly after the original Judgment Day.
They only gave her 6 months. But she fought for 3 years.
In the Sarah Connor Chronicles TV series, which takes place in another timeline, it's also mentioned that the titular character will die from cancer in 2005. With Linda Hamilton reprising her iconic role in Dark Fate, cancer is no longer Sarah's killer. She's still taking care of business in 2020 and showing no signs of slowing down. We guess that potato chip diet is keeping her healthy. In any case, Sarah has plenty of fight left in her.
We changed the future. Saved 3 billion lives. You're welcome.
John Connor, R.I.P.
Hasta la vista, baby.
We were all curious to see how John Connor would tie into the story, especially after it was announced that Edward Furlong was reprising his role. The film answers our question within the first few minutes, in which we get some scary good de-aging effects on Furlong and Hamilton. Then a de-aged Arnold Schwarzenegger showed up and tore our hearts out. Although Judgment Day has come and gone, John is still being hunted. The machines finally catch up to John in 1998 when a T-800 guns him down. In every Terminator film, John has been built up as humanity's savior, the one destined to lead the human resistance after Skynet takes over. Now, however, John is to the Terminator franchise what Newt is to the Alien franchise.
That's definitely you.
Skynet is no more.
Skynet fully operational, processing at 60 teraflops a second.
In Rise of the Machines, it's revealed that Judgment Day wasn't prevented, but merely delayed until 2004. In this new continuity, though, Skynet's fate was sealed in T2 when the Terminator arm and CPU were destroyed, along with the reprogrammed T-800.
It's over.
Although John dies young in this timeline, his past actions were not in vain, as he prevented this particular Judgment Day for good. Upon traveling to 2020 from the year 2042, Grace clarifies that she's never heard of Skynet, meaning it never became self-aware and launched a nuclear war. Given where Grace came from, however, clearly something still went wrong in the future, with or without Skynet. Man, it's like whenever you take down one evil computer system, another sprouts up overnight.
Sir, the Pentagon has proposed that we use our AI to scan the entire infrastructure, search and destroy for any hint of the virus.
I know, Tony, but that's like going after a fly with a bazooka.
Enter Legion. We guess you could say that Legion is Skynet 2.0. In Grace's future, an AI program known as Legion takes control of our computer servers and instigates a nuclear holocaust. From there, Legion creates an army of machines to wipe out the remainder of humanity and all that jazz. This isn't the same Judgment Day that John and Sarah prevented in T2, but rather a whole new one that stemmed from a different point of origin. Much like how Skynet started out as a defense network, Legion was originally intended for cyber warfare, and inevitably blew up in humanity's face. You know, at this point, maybe we should all just throw our computers in a dumpster. On second thought, WatchMojo is an internet-based company, so let's not.
We have destroyed ourselves.
Other Terminators.
Nice night for a walk.
In the first Terminator, Skynet sent a T-800 back in time to kill Sarah before John was even conceived. When that didn't pan out, a T-1000 was sent back to take out a teenage John. In Dark Fate, we learn that Skynet actually sent a few more Terminators to the past, one of which succeeded where its predecessors failed. Even with John dead and buried, the Terminators didn't stop pouring in. Sarah tells Grace and Danny that she's been receiving messages from an unknown source over the years. These messages alert Sarah when another Terminator travels back in time and where she can destroy it. As far as we know, Sarah has taken out every Terminator that's come onto her turf.
Enough of a resume for you.
The Rev 9.
My whole body's a weapon. Sorry.
Up until now, every Terminator has had a T in its name. There was the T-800, the T-1000, the T-X, etc. We suppose Skynet has a thing about brand consistency. Anyway, since the Rev 9 is a product of Legion and not Skynet though, the latest Terminator drops the T. Of course, that's not the only thing that sets Rev 9 apart from all the rest. Most notably, this Terminator can split into two killing machines. Whereas one piece is a traditional Terminator endoskeleton, the other is a black liquid metal exoskeleton. It almost looks like a symbiote from the Marvel Universe. While Rev 9 shares a few things in common with past Terminators, such as the T-1000's shape-shifting abilities, we've never seen anything quite like him before in this franchise. Amazing Grace.
I am human. Just enhanced.
Humans and reprogrammed Terminators have been sent back in time before, but Grace takes the series to uncharted territory. While Grace was born human, she was given a cybernetic upgrade in the midst of combat. Whereas mere mortals require weapons and their wits to take down a Terminator, a cyborg Grace can face a foe like the Rev 9 in hand-to-hand combat. You could argue that we saw something like this already in Terminator Salvation with the character Marcus Wright.
I'm the only hope you have.
Having been sent to death row, Marcus donates his body to science and emerges as a cyborg after Judgment Day occurs. Whereas Marcus felt more machine than man at times, however, we never doubt Grace's humanity, introducing a new type of future tech.
Which means I can rip your throat out if you piss me off, so don't.
Danny Dark Fate. Grace has been sent back to 2020 to protect Danny Ramos, while the Rev 9 is naturally there to terminate the young woman. At first, Dark Fate leads the audience to believe that Danny will be the next Sarah Connor, the woman who will give birth to humanity's savior. As it turns out, Danny is really the next John Connor, the one who will lead the human resistance against the machines. Since this is a new future with a new Judgment Day, it calls for a new savior. As Danny discovers throughout the film, there's no fate but what we make for ourselves. This may mean that Danny has the potential to prevent Judgment Day before it even occurs. If John could do it, so can she.
She intends to change the future.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Carl's not so bad.
I'm going to help you protect the girl, because I choose to.
Arnie's back, but not as the T-800 from T2. Carl is a different Terminator that kills John. Now that Carl's mission is completed and Skynet is no more, what's next for the Terminator? Surprisingly, Carl finds a new purpose as a family man, looking out for a woman and her son. He also gets a job, doing drapes. Quite the turnaround from being a killing machine. T2 established that it's possible for a Terminator to learn the value of human life. The T-800 in that film, though, was reprogrammed by John Connor to protect his past self.
I know now why you cry. But it's something I can never do.
Carl, meanwhile, was never reprogrammed, becoming the first Terminator to develop a conscience all on his own.
So you're Carl.
That's what everyone calls me, yes.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.